Hi, everyone. My name is Boz. I grew up in Macedonia. We have some extra letters. Je is one of them. How many of you did I meet yesterday? How many of you were at the... Okay, not that many. Okay, good. So it's going to be new for most of you. I'm founder of a company called TeamLift. What TeamLift does is we create AI champions within companies. And I'm going to explain what that is. Basically, it's kind of a way to gain the most in-demand skill and keep your job, get promoted. I started working on this topic about 11 years ago, first in academia, researching mainly how people learn and develop new skills, and then with TeamLift. There is one message that, if you were there, you heard me say yesterday, if I'm here a year from now, we'll likely say the same thing, which is something that we deeply believe at TeamLift, which is that the people that are good at what they do should be the ones that decide how AI changes their job. I'm not saying this because it's the right thing. I think it's the most effective way to do it. And I'm going to walk us through why that's the case. There is something that is different with AI compared to other softwares. I think the example that we went through with the 7 people and the piece of paper very nicely illustrated it. I made this presentation using Claude. Last night, I was at dinner with the team at IBM, and they had made a presentation using Claude that had some crazy animations. I have seen people make presentations using Claude that do not look good. My point in here is that we all mostly have access to the same tools, but the person that is using the tool and how they're using it matters a lot. So what does that mean? A couple of things. One thing, if you would like to boycott or bring down an existing AI initiative in your company, I'm going to tell you how to do that, and then I'm going to give you another thing you can do. So currently, none of the models, none of the agents that are rolled out in the enterprise work 100% of the time. So if you don't want them in your job, what you could do is you can sit down with it, get it to hallucinate or make mistakes, write down all of those mistakes, show them to your manager, and basically prove that it's not something that's reliable. If you decide to do that, you might keep your job the way it is for a few more years. Eventually, someone else is going to do it, whether on your team or at a competitor, so disadvantage. It will probably last for a few years, but it's going to disappear. So what is something else you can do? Something else you can do is you can become an AI champion. So what is an AI champion? How many of you have AI champions in your companies or are one? Okay, I see someone there. It is a newly emerging role. You can see the job description on the left. You're basically building AI workflows for yourself and for your teams. There are a couple of things that make someone good at being an AI champion. You can see them in the middle. It has a lot to do with being able to think in processes and being able to understand how to improve those processes, both with using AI tools and knowing where the human still needs to stay. It's not a developer. You do not have to be a developer to be an AI champion. In fact, most existing AI champions are not developers. You don't have to be a data scientist, and it's not necessarily an AI enthusiast that's kind of always looking at the newest things. It's really learning how to use AI tools to improve your processes. What does it look like to be the manager of AI champions? There are a couple of new skills that are emerging if you are leading or managing teams that are more AI native. These are some of the things that can help you build these skills. One is just use AI yourself to save a little bit of time. It can be just using one of the LLMs, use some of the prompting techniques you have learned throughout the past couple of days. Understand what's worth building. And the third one is quite important. Start understanding what AI can do, what AI cannot do. The best way to build this skill is just to experiment with some of these tools, see what's actually feasible and what's hype, so that you can have the right conversations with AI vendors. And you can kind of understand what your team might need and what your team might not need. Okay, so if you would like to become an AI champion in your company, the simplest way to get there would be to get your first win. What is a first win? A lot of people make mistakes in here when you start using AI to kind of incorporate it in your team. Many people go into kind of the most important workflow, and very few succeed, or if they succeed, the team is not as responsive to it. So I have a little metaphor that people find useful, that I hope will be useful to everyone in here, which is the intern test. What is the intern test? You basically imagine a human. So say I was joining your team. I have a few PhDs, have read every book out there, have no experience, do not know much about your company, and you're giving me my first project. A couple of things to keep in mind as you're giving me my first project. First one, something that's going to make your life easier. Then second, you likely want me to succeed with the first one. You're going to give me more difficult projects as we get going. And the third one is, if I make some mistakes, it is going to be very easy for you to understand why I made that mistake and how to fix it. These are some examples of what passes the intern test and what would be, let's say, a reliable first win that you could build with different tools. I'm going to leave it on in case anyone wants to take a picture. And then I'm going to end with a couple of things. One, you don't need too many things to have a successful AI transformation in your team. You basically need an LLM. LLMs are Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever your company has chosen. It's basically all the same talent that's working and kind of moving between these companies. Then you need a connector. What's a connector? Zapier is probably the most famous one that people have heard of, where you get something that connects the different tools you have. Make, I saw there in here, has a very nice interface. People like it. It's a bit easier to use. N8N is something that you need a little bit of technical skills in order to get it. But if you have an LLM, if you have a connector, you have your champions, the main thing is to get them to that first win, get kind of that first intern project, and then you can scale from there. I have two things for you. If you would like to connect on LinkedIn, you can see the QR code there. I post sometimes, not too frequently, but I try to share what we're learning. And if you did not find something you like on the slide I showed, you can use that code. That is something that we're doing for attendees that are here, where we're going to help you identify your first win. So figure out what your intern project can be, either for yourself or for someone else on your team. Thank you so much.